is Juan Cruz Portilla. Today's video is part of the methodology in foreign language teaching course, the phase 4. Today I'm going to give a short class applying the CALL method, the computer assisted language learning, and the topic is the simple past. Okay, the aim or the objective of this class is give a brief grammatical explanation and the application of different digital resources available on the internet. The students are expected to acquire the necessary skills to handle the past simple tense. To start, as you maybe have studied before, for the regular verbs we have to add the E and D at the end of the verb, as you can see in this slide. Want, wanted, learn, learned, stay, stayed, walk, walked, and show, showed. This is simple for regular verbs. We also have different rules for these kind of verbs. For example, when the verb finishes in E, for example, change or believe, we only had to add the consonant D. And another rule, when the verb finishes in a vowel or in a consonant different to Y and W, we have to double the final consonant. As you can see, stop, we have to double the E and add E and D. And now, when the regular verb finishes in Y, we have to modify it, change it with an I, as you can see in the slide, and also added the E and D at the end of the verb. Okay? In this step we have different ways to change the verb, depending if we talk with the verb to be or if we maybe apply some other verbs. Okay? If we apply the verb to be, we have to use the was or were, depending on the pronoun. For I, he, she, or it, we use the was. If we use were for the pronouns you, we, and they. And also, we need the auxiliary did for questions and for negative sentences when we talk about different verbs except the verb to be, okay? Now, we have the affirmative sentences. We start with the subject, followed by the principal verb in simple past form. As you can see the structure with this sentence. In this sentence we are applying the verb to be. She was a doctor. The keys were in the drawer. These two are verb to be. And the next one is applied with another verb. The verb want, we add E and D as we saw in the first part of this class. Now, when we talk about the negative sentences with the verb to be, we have the structure subject, verb to be, plus not. So we can say, she was not a doctor, or she wasn't, or the keys were not in the drawer, or the keys were in the drawer. Okay? We have to deny to use the not with the verb to be. In this case, we don't have to use the auxiliary did. How we have to use it in these kind of verbs? All the other verbs except the verb to be, we use the structure subject plus the verb to be, the auxiliary verb, did, plus not, plus the verb in infinitive form. So, as you can see in this example, we have I, we have did, not, and we have want. It's not necessary to add the E and D that we saw before because the did indicates the tense of the sentence, okay? Another example, they didn't learn English, we didn't believe him. the other verbs, we put first the did, followed by the subject, followed by the verb in infinitive form. Did you want to dance? And to finish with the complement. In this case, English. Did they learn English? This is the complement, English. And now we have the uses of this tense. Okay, this tense is used when we talk about an action that already happened in the past and finished in the past. So in this case, it's really useful to apply some adverbs of time as last year, yesterday, or last night to give more information about when finished the action in the past. For example, Tom stayed at home last night. So we are giving more information about when Tom stayed at home. Another example, Kate worked last Saturday. So we are talking about when she worked. Okay? And we talk about some generalities or facts that happened in the past. For example, the Aztec lived in Mexico. Los aztecas vivían en México o vivieron en México. Okay? Now, in this slide you can find many activities that I prepared for you. And we are going to start with this video. You have to follow this link and this video. In this part you can see many sentences in affirmative, negative, or interrogative, applying the simple past tense. Okay? It's very interesting because it's applying some scenes of movies. And we can study the structure of the interrogative questions. We can see in this example how we apply the past simple with regular verbs, and we have to identify the structure that we already studied. Okay, this is the first part of the task that you have to develop. The second part is you have to write down in a Google Docs document every affirmative sentence mentioned in the video. For example, this is one affirmative. You have to write it in a Google Docs document. Okay. I learned many things from my father. So you write, I learned many things from my father. Okay. Every affirmative sentences that you can see in this video, you have to write it down in the Google document. Okay. After that, you have to detect the verb in past simple in each sentence and highlight it. Okay, in this case, the verb in past simple form is this one, learn. And we have to highlight it, okay, in order to learn more verbs and try to identify if it is regular or irregular. And to identify it, we have to put at the end of the sentence if it is regular or irregular, and we can use this link, this chart that is really important, where you can find a good amount of irregular verbs. Okay? So for example, the verb in this case in the sentence is learn. So we are going to search it in the chart. And we have it here. Learn, learned, learned. So you can see it's an irregular verb. So you put it at the end of the sentence, irregular. Okay? And so on with the rest of the sentence that you can find in affirmative form, simple tense on the video. Okay? And to finish, we have this activity is really helpful to study the affirmative and negative form of the simple past. Okay? I'm going to show you one example. Okay, this part, as you can see, I helped my brother, and the negative form, I didn't help my sister. Okay? So you have to put the verb in the correct form when we talk about the simple past tense, okay? In the affirmative and in the negative form. And if you have maybe any doubt about it, you can review this video. Was made by children. To children, it's really useful to study the structure and to remember how we have to form the affirmative, negative, and interrogative form of this tense. And to finish, I'm going to give you this link where you can find an interesting presentation database where you can find this topic and some other more to study the basics of English. So, as you can see, really important to apply the internet resources. We have videos. In the internet we can find reading, speaking, writing tools. So in order you can practice more with it and improve your English skills. That is all. Thanks for watching.